The remnant of nomads feel lost in a world they don't recognize, controlled by evil forces who seek to enslave them. They have trained and prepared for this very moment.
What's going on? What's going on? I don't know if I'm frozen like that. I think you guys could hear me though. But yeah, what's going on? Happy Friday night. Welcome to all the viewers in chat, and shout out to everybody who watches the replay. First in chat, we got Marengo. What's going on, Marengo? Good to see you. Kurt24, brother Kurt24. Oh, it's delaying me. It's delaying me. It's not letting me click on you, Kurt. Drew in Oregon. What's going on? What's going on? Hopefully it smooths out here in just a second. But yeah. So I was trying to think about what we were going to cover tonight, and I have only watched this footage like once, and it was like before going to bed. And me and my buddy who owns Freedom Training and Tactics talked a little bit about it. And yeah, I figured it would be a good stream to kind of go over it. A, learn some things from Lucas Botkin, and B, find out if some of the things he's teaching is correlative to other things that other people have been teaching. So we're going to bring in our special guest of the night. He used to be the lead singer of Limp Bizkit. Let's bring in Fred Durst.
Wow. Okay. Now this red hat gets a rap from these critics.
I seen you in the back, and I was like, "Dang, he looks like Fred Durst, man." Shout out to
everybody used to call that when I was a teenager, man.
They did?
This is my old instructor. Yeah, man, this is my old instructor hat right here.
Well, you got the black shirt on with the red hat, and I got the red shirt on with the black hat. So we're doing things. We're doing things. Yeah, I figured Delta Mike, you know, he does some firearms instruction, and I thought he'd want to watch it. Have you watched this video before?
Not. I'm not sure what one you're talking about, but no, I have not. Probably not. Okay. Is it when you say Lucas Botkin? It's not T-Rex Arms, right?
Well, he's the former owner of T-Rex Arms.
Right. I didn't know if it was a T-Rex Arms video or not.
No. His arms are still skinny, but now he goes by Adaptive Defense.
Okay, I like that.
I do too. I like the new name. Shout out to Adaptive Defense and Lucas Botkin. I know Delta Mike and I both like what you do, and it's pretty cool to see civilians who have started out where he did, which is in a garage making holsters, to where he is now. And whether you like him or don't like him, you got to respect the guy. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Shout out to Tactical Muffin Top. Thanks for joining, brother. Thanks for joining. Matthew Telhart. What an amazing brother. You know, after I got done talking with you, Matt, man, I was driving, and I just had to say a prayer for you, man. First, I prayed that thank God Matthew Telhart became a acquaintance of mine, and prayed for quite a few of you guys. Drew, Dark, everything he's going through. So, you know, everybody's got a lot on their plate right now, and you know, sometimes we fall back in our training because of all the things we might be juggling, and it is our duty to try to prevent that and try to stay sharp, even though we all might be juggling a lot of things at once. Shout out to Garen Wilson, Sev. Thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for joining. And yeah, so we actually have the video already set to go. And I think we should jump right into it. Let's check out. First of all, he's got he's got a super cool intro. And if you're not subscribe to Delta Mike .13 on YouTube.
Correct.
Make sure you guys sub to
Just
him.
got back at it.
Nice. Yeah, I seen a Fat Tack video. Pretty cool. And I'm not sure if everyone will get my comment, but it is highly relative that I left on your short. All right, let's begin.
Did you comment?
Yeah, I left a comment on there. Did it not come up?
I didn't get the notification yet. I'll have to check it out.
I know you were running the range and stuff, so let's see. So I believe Lucas Botkin's favorite go-to rifle is the BCM 11.5, if I'm not mistaken. That is what he likes to tote. I don't know if he's running an 11.5 in this, but let's see. Maybe he'll cover it. And shout out to Jesse Cinco, who I think runs majority of his training department over there at Adaptive Defense. And yeah, we're gonna see what these guys are talking about. So I did notice there was a Sons of Liberty Mark I there for a second. And yeah, checking out. He's always got great intros. YouTube is all about the phenomenal action-packed intros.
I don't know how to make one, man.
Say again?
I can't figure out how to make one. I don't know what I'm doing on that. I've still got a lot to learn, I guess.
You remember all the 80s montages? GunTube has officially adopted the 80s montage as your official intro of any cool video.
I just got to get more montages then.
Correct.
All right, guys, welcome to C200 course. All right, so I'm going to give you guys kind of a quick idea behind why we made this course. Right now in the rifle world, you have what's essentially like USPSA kind of pistol style courses with rifle that you shoot maybe to 50 or 40, right? They're very transition heavy, very movement heavy, great for competition. And then on the other side of the equation, you have precision gas gun style courses, taking 5.56 out to 850, 1,000, depending on the ammo and the gun. However, the majority of carbine engagements happen 0 to 200 meters. And when I say majority, it's over 94% based off the data, right? So we should solve towards that equation, right? We can vector in on that and say, okay, if that's the most likely course of action that we're going to face, let's aggregate our training and our equipment towards that, right? So that's why we build our guns the way that we do. So we've built our guns to be carbines, but essentially what I have here, this is an 11.5. I've got a Huck scan on here, a light, my lasers still haven't shown up yet. I got an EOTech, I got a magnifier. Everything's basically duty right here. I don't have any competition parts on this gun. I have a duty flash hider on here. I have a duty style bolt, etc. Because this is built for reliability over near end performance. I always say if you're gonna have an F1 car, you got to rebuild it after every race. So if we're talking duty and kind of true infantry style fighting with rifles, we are going to start the day with classic basic rifle marksmanship of shooting out of a good stable prone position at 100. All right. And we're going to start with a slow fire of 10 rounds. This also works for us because we can see if anybody has any wild issues going on with their gun, right? So this is a dual purpose start to the day. But anytime that we're shooting a rifle, whether it's standing or on a barricade or in the prone, we are going to want to be thinking about our overall connection with the rifle, right? That's the way I like to think of it. If I have a solid connection with the rifle where my buttstock is all the way in my shoulder, it's placed correctly. My hand, just as a general rule for you guys, very simple for me. If I shoot my pistol, and this is what's very, very comfortable for me with pistol shooting, well, that's how I'm going to place my hand on my rifle when I'm shooting my rifle. It might be out a little bit further, but we don't like the fully locked out C-clamp. That is dead. All right, we don't do that anymore. And I basically shoot it almost exactly where I shoot my pistol. As far as my grip goes, right, my hand kind of rolls in along the side of the gun and my thumb goes over the top. I think that works really well, and I assume the same hand position in the prone, right? So when we have a prone position,
so technically a C-clamp.
What is being provided there is we have
he's just
the
saying
stock
that
connection
you don't want
into
to.
our shoulder.
So a lot of people will extend that out and like almost straighten your arm out, and he's just saying that is not a good technique. It forces you to, when you're out that far, when you start shooting, and I find this a lot with newer shooters and stuff, like when people use that stretch out, they will tend to push the rifle one way or the other, or pull it up or down. And also they will do that when they have a like a foregrip, kind of a foregrip out on the front of theirs. They will tend to pull it down, and which will cause them to shoot high. So look, the start of this video is excellent. I love the way he's explaining the rifle. I love the way he's saying that, look, this is a purpose-built rifle. We're not trying to build a Ferrari here. Primo already. I love the start of it. Fantastic.
Yeah. The whole video is very good. I mean, it is, so they are primetime proponents of not using foregrips, period. Foregrips.
I am too. I am as well.
Yeah. I like having something. So, like, I can't show anything because we're on YouTube. But I think I showed it at Dark's live stream. I have, like, just a nub, the little, like, diamond-shaped. It's, like, maybe a full 1.5 inches long.
Yeah.
I like having,
that's just for hand placement.
Yeah. It's like, it's more of an index point than anything. But I mean, on the other hand, it's like, I do feel like there are people who do things slightly differently, and whatever's kind of comfortable to you, in my opinion. Like, I do think obviously the longer you extend your arm, the more fatigue you're going to experience.
100%.
You know, and a lot of stuff that I've seen in this video is what they talk about is constantly recreating prone. So whatever position you kind of hold in the prone is that you should hold standing, with the same rifle position and stability that you get from the prone, is constantly trying to recreate that. But yeah, it's an interesting. I've only really started hearing that recently. Is like, just try to have it exactly the same as where your pistol is. I am actually a proponent, probably because of my background in kinesiology and biomechanics, that depending on the size of your rifle, is like, you really want to have that thing balanced. Like how a samurai sword, you hold it in a certain position and that thing's balanced. Like, depending on the weight of where your stuff is. So if you have on like a heavier can on the end or what, that might dictate how far you place your hand out. And like, I would think the center balance that makes that gun is flat and level, so that you don't have more weight in front than in back, gives you, like, both hands are cupping this thing in such a way that the gun is very level.
I would agree.
All right, let's keep rolling.
Let's roll.
My entire setup is moving slow. I'm getting spinning rainbow wheels. I guess that's how Macs work. When things are loading, you get the rainbow wheel. I wonder if I can change that so I don't have a spinning rainbow wheel. All right, bring that down, hit play. I am spotting someone there standing next to an instructor with a foregrip.
To our stock, we have our firing hand, which is supported by an elbow. We have our non-firing hand, which is supported by an elbow, and we have a monopod from our magazine. So we get a very stable position. We're not placing pressure forward or pulling rearward onto that mag. We're just nice, flat, on the ground, incredibly stable. So Lucas, you want to demo for us? All right, so first of all, if you guys notice, when he entered that prone position, he went straight down, he braced with his non-firing hand, he extended his legs out, all right? If you guys look, if I were to stand behind him, he's generally in a line behind the gun. He's got a nice wide base, his hips are to the ground. If you guys see where his hand is placed on the rifle, that's gonna be the exact same hand placement that he's gonna have when he's standing up, right? So it's continuous. Notice how he's flat, he's basing out, he's using all of his points of contact. His stock placement is relatively the same that it would be if he's standing up, and his elbows are both supporting those two hands. So this is what we're looking for in a prone position. All right, notice he still has cheek to stock, but one of the things that we're gonna look at is like, how effective are we actually able to control recoil in this position? Right? Because a lot of people, they enter prone and then they just kind of relax and they don't actually care about how their dot is actually tracking, right? Or they get off angle, like stock's not really
like a toy soldier.
They're not in a line. Well, you will see like the cathletes, and they shoot at a slant like that, but they do that because they have skis. Shooter, are you ready?
Oh, I am.
On you. All right, build a good prone firing position. All right, guys, on you.
10 rounds.
If you guys can imagine, I can get the best recoil pattern when I'm right in line behind my gun. If I'm like this, right, which way is the gun gonna wanna go? Yeah, I mean, granted, I can like over-pronounce with the shoulder forward, but then I'm applying tension into the system, and it's very hard to be consistent with tension or pressure on your gun, right? And consistency is what's gonna drive a predictable sight return with the rifle. Does that make sense? The next thing is, I saw guys holding the mag, right? See how kind of unstable that is up front? If I'm out here and I have this good position right here, I have a lot more stability along the length of this rail or barrel. And so that's gonna make me more stable. However, there's, you know, like a diminishing returns, because the further out I get now, I personally start to get unstable. The next thing is, I am still concerned with a good connection to my stock. So I was actually watching some of you guys shoot, and I would watch your stock come off your shoulder in between rounds, and it kind of looked like this, right? We still want to have a good connection, and we want our cheek on our stock. We're not applying undue amount of force, but we are pulling to the rear with our non-firing hand and just keeping a nice, good, flat surface towards the targets up front. Does that make sense to everybody?
Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do for this next match,
I don't know if I paused it or if it's freezing. Am I frozen? Am I a 5x5 Delta Mike?
Yep. You're
Okay.
you've been going in and out. I mean, audio's good, but you've been going in and out. It's kind of,
So we didn't talk
I
about it
can see
earlier,
you
but a lot of
good,
this
but
class, I would say 80% of this class is process oriented. We are not super concerned about specific outcomes. We're not putting you guys on shot timers. We're not looking for certain hits like, oh my gosh, you got all A's. Like it's good to see a pattern of behavior that it's, what you're doing is translating to the target. But for the most part, we are focusing on the process, building good habits. At the end of this class, there is going to be some outcome focused training with some high accountability shooting where, now we need to see some alpha.
One thing I noticed was, just within 5 minutes, he's like, we're not pulling the rifle into our shoulder. We're not, applying that force to it. But in the prone, quickly he was like, yeah, you want to make sure that you're at least pulling that gun back into that shoulder pocket. I think it is different standing. I tend to pull the gun into my shoulder more in the prone. Just because you're really trying to tighten up that position so that you don't move and you have a different form of balance, and you're also more than likely in the prone taking farther shots, so you're taking more precise shots, right? Like you're not in the prone shooting at 20 yards. I mean, you could be. I'm not saying that that's not an option, but I mean, majority of the time it's like I'm going prone so I can be more accurate at this distance and keep a low signature on my body. And then they are also against risers and foregrips. So, I mean, some of that is going to change certain things. I would say, like, you obviously you have to get deep in that gun the lower your optic is. So, you'll notice stuff like that throughout the training footage, but, either way, it's good stuff. I wish I was at this class this day.
I agree. It's good
We need to
stuff.
see some decent times, but for
My bad. I'm in like a slight delay, so if I mess up like that, my bad. But what did you say right there at the end?
No, I was just saying it's good. It's good. I mean, pretty much everything is pretty spot on with the way it's taught against throughout the industry. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so like traditional prone, obviously you want to be as directly behind the gun as possible. But like, let's say you have a barrier, right? And you're in the prone, you're crawling behind a barrier or something. You may want to have your body behind the barrier and just your gun kind of sticking out and take a shot like that. Like being able to take dynamic shots and unconventional positions is also a part of shooting,
Definitely.
For today and like half of tomorrow, you have permission to fail. You have permission to make mistakes, and more importantly, you have permission to experiment. So for this next magazine, you're going to load up. I want you guys to take time to experiment with your position and see how it reflects on your recoil management. So when we were down in the prone and we were shooting slow fire, you saw your dot rise and fall. How many of you guys paid attention to how much it was rising and falling? Half of you guys? Yeah, probably. Okay, all right. I'll give it to you. Half of you guys were probably paying attention. You were watching your dot rise and fall. You were like, that looks pretty good. And you just kept sending it for a good 10-round group. Awesome. In that amount of time, whatever. What I want to do for this next 30 rounds, and I'll demo it, is experiment with multiple round strings of fire, shift your body, do weird stuff, go completely off to the side to see just how bad and horrible it is. You're going to see your dot jump a whole lot. And then you're like, okay, wow, I really don't want to be off center with the rifle. I really want to try to get center. Now I know what it looks like, because I know a lot of guys, and speaking for myself, don't have an opportunity to go and shoot at 100, let alone 200, and take the time to put things on paper and really see what's going on. One thing I will say is everyone here familiar, I'll just get up, with the doubles concept from Mr. Ben and Joel and all their guys? The concept is we aim at a target, we fire 2 shots as fast as we can. Again, process oriented. We don't care where the bullets go. We're going to go down there and see where they go. We fire 2 shots as fast as possible. The purpose for that is that first shot's going to be where we're aiming. that second shot's going to be based on how much our gun recoiled or how much input we put into the gun. Generally, it sounds like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you know what you're doing, you're going to have some pause to really analyze what just happened. What I would recommend for this is you can adopt that strategy to test your platform and your recoil management. For this, I would start with just single shot. Get in a weird spot, fire one, watch where that dot goes. And you're like, completely off the target, off to the right. Shift my body, move my hand, boom, off a little bit. I'll say for me, I can't make the dot go perfectly 12 o'clock. It will always go a little bit to the right because I have this arm all the way here. So it's always going to follow the path of least resistance a little bit. But I can build a position good enough where my dot just slightly goes off to the right, still mostly center, and I can hammer this target very quickly with a good prone position. But the main thing
one thing I noticed for me, and I completely agree with him, like you should get out at distance on paper as much as possible. 100, 200, 300. You learn so much. Yeah, well, because it's hard to get a spot where you have that, you know?
But even when you do, a lot of people don't. They just do it to, you know, hit on steel. I agree. I'm bad at it myself. I don't hardly ever go on paper past unless I'm dialing my rifle in. It's usually the only time I'll go on paper at 100 yards. I mean, I need to get better at that.
100%. Yeah, I had a range. I had a private land that we no longer have access to, but we would shoot. That's where my accuracy with a red dot, like how I was able to be like, oh, I can just shoot my red dot out to 400 yards, is because I was putting it on paper like once a week, 100, 200, 300, 400. And once you were like, okay, well, when I hold dead nuts bullseye with my red dot, yeah, I have a 4-inch rise at 200 yards. So I need to hold, you know, I could then put a 8-inch steel out there at 200 yards and just hit it with a red dot whenever I want, you know, because once you get like your brain like really understands your zero and your holdover, it becomes quite easy as long as you have a good rifle, good barrel, and good mechanics to put rounds on target at distance. You know, these guns are designed to go much further than these distances.
Yep.
Yeah, I forget what else I was going to add on to that, but let's see what he's about to say. One thing that we go on and you know, obviously I think the biggest and best training company out right now is Achilles Heel Tactical. I highly suggest you go to their website and just read their drills. So like they have their drills posted on the website, and they have some pretty different style drills with different ways of scoring them and things like that. But they talk about the 3 levels of confirmation with a red dot. And once you like really establish those 3 levels of confirmation, then you notice the movement of your dot so much more. You know, it's the difference between shooting slow at 10 yards and trying to put 5 rounds on target really quickly and seeing how tight you can make that group. And you notice the movement of that dot. Like, it's a very important piece of keeping those rounds in a tight group if you're trying to shoot quickly with a pistol. So it's same similar concept to what they're doing now.
You're paying attention to is where's my dot going? How far is it deviating from the target? And how comfortable am I taking the shot in this position? So I will demo bad stuff.
That's what I was going to say. He said his dot goes off to the right. One thing I notice is because a gas gun has an ejection port on the right side, that my gun pushes like high left almost every time. Maybe I'm not putting enough pressure into the side of the gun, like to fight that, because I try not to input too much pressure sideways or anything like that. But I tend to, and I hope he adjusts his shooting position because he got right behind his gun and went straight left.
Yeah, he's left. And a lot of times your recoil trajectory will be it'll be dictated on you unconsciously trying to fight the recoil and trying to make sure you get back on target as quickly as you can. And sometimes you end up, which is why I am a big believer in not having any kind of, unless, like you said, unless it's a little, just a little hand placement. I'm not a big fan of having foregrips out there because it causes you to pull on them because you want to fight that recoil. You want to try to control the recoil to the best of your ability. And that's why you end up getting high left or right, or like he says, his is going up in the right. You're just fighting the recoil.
Mm-hmm.
The gun's going to do what the gun does.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, without any input, a gun sits pretty flat.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do notice that, like, I've put my rifle into a sled. So I have another range close to me. We have 100-yard indoor range, and that's absolutely my favorite place to zero my guns because there's also a sled in there. And usually I go in early in the daytime. There's not one person in the whole building, and I go in there in this indoor 100-yard range. It's like one of the most therapeutic places to be.
Man, that's a nice range.
Yeah, and I put my gun in the sled. And I'm still getting behind the gun, but it's a lot more stable and easy, and I can make adjustments better with the scope and everything without having to move, like set the gun down or have a bipod or whatever. But even then, I notice the gases are pushing out the ejection port out the right side of an AR-15. So like inherently, equal and opposite reactions, right? Like if you got gases going out the front and out the side, that's inputting the rifle ever so slightly off to the left. And if you haven't noticed that, then see if you notice it the next time you go shooting.
Off. So feet close together, hand on
He
magwell.
adjusted.
I'll fire a single shot. Dot flew super high off of the target. I can take some pressure out of the stock, be like, yeah, I don't want to pull that into me for, I don't know, some stupid reason. Gun jumped a crap load. Go over here. Jumping a ton. I could do some weird stuff. And I can still shoot accurately doing this. If I let the gun do its thing, I'm putting the dot where I want to shoot. I'm pulling the trigger. Like I can shoot accurately from here. But if Jesse says, rip 6 as fast as you can, yeah, I'm going to get like 1 hit, maybe 2. So I want to then build, kind of mess around, do my thing. And then when I'm set, I can do some doubles.
You guys see how if you just watch the muzzle of his gun right there, you can tell it's a good position?
Yeah, his gun doesn't move at all right there. Like
no recoil whatsoever.
None. And I don't love putting my magazine into the dirt like that.
I don't either.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I get that, like, on paper, it makes a lot of sense as, like, that's your monopod and, you don't have a bipod and you have your 2 elbows plus that. So you have 3, like a tripod on the ground. But I mean, obviously it works for him, but like as soon as you throw on a plate carrier or a chest rig, like I have shot a lot with them and I always feel like I'm higher and like I can't float it on the ground. Otherwise I'm trying to like dig my whole head down in a very unnatural position. But I mean, also the whole point of being prone is to be as close to the ground as possible. So you're harder to see. So.
Yep.
All right, let's let him continue.
Based off what we saw with the other positions, that's like when I'm walking behind you guys, half the time I'm just looking literally at the front of your.
What you got, Mike?
And so, and I meant to say something, and my wife just texted me. I got sidetracked. But also, when you put a lot of pressure on your mag like that in the ground, it can cause feed problems big time.
509 Ace, one of my local brothers, good friend of mine. Let me know when you want to go. I like going out to that long range myself. And primarily, I mean, it's not the long range, but my 13.9 with the LVPO, and I have 1 to 8x. Like, I feel competent having any range day inside 800 yards and like learning, going for it, getting data, and I'm pretty confident out to 600 with it.
With the 13.9?
Yeah.
You need to be running that with your 12.5. If that's the one you're going to go with all the time, you need to be getting out to them ranges with that 12.5.
So
you might not get there. You might get between that 4. You might. You should be comfortable at the 400. Oh, yeah,
4 is cake. 4 is cake. I can get out to 600, no problem.
Oh yeah. With your 12.5.
Yeah, no problem.
No, okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm holding slightly higher, but I'm also running 55 grain, so I'm not the guy who's like slinging 77 grain, 74 grains.
55 grain's good, man. 55 grain is a.
You get a little more wind. You get a little more wind deviation, but it's moving.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if I would have like cavitation and tumbling at a distance like that, but I mean, you learn about your gun and you build confidence. And I don't know if I'll ever be on like a rooftop where there's a horde of zombies approaching out at 600. I need to, take headshots at, but
we can only hope.
It sounds a little bit better than the current climate, I have to say. It sounds more exciting.
I would much rather share the earth with zombies than liberals.
Well, technically we already are sharing it with zombies.
That is true.
Carl from Tactical Rifleman said he does it. He has a short, just brainstorming whatever works. I might have missed what you're talking about, what he said he does. I'm sure it was something we said. I don't know if you were talking about the monopod having your mag in the dirt. I don't think it's a negative. Do I have one with me? I love these. Let me show you guys something just ever so briefly. Okay. So these are something I really like. It's called the Das Boot from Die Frico. And it's a +2. And it gives you a little distance, and it's also has like some traction on it, so it's like designed to help you use it as a monopod. Now, when these are on there, I notice a great improvement in using that mag in that fashion on any surface. And also, if you're like the guy who's like, should I load 29 rounds in my magazine? Because, then I'll get an easier insertion, which can happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. I load all mine to 30. But when you have a +2 extension on there, that's pretty minimal, you can load to 30 and feel very confident. And I noticed that if I'm at 30 with the +2, it's like, boop, dropping right in there. So, over insertion. I don't think I've ever had over insertion on my rifles. Maybe when the bolts open, I haven't noticed it when the bolts open. When the bolts closed, I've definitely never had that issue. You know what I mean? But I guess I need to literally lock the bolt open and try every single magazine. I'm sure I've had some issues, and I maybe haven't diagnosed that as over insertion. But every now and then, I'll have a mag that I'm like, this isn't working well. I have to say, with the Griffin lower that I run and the Geisley upper, like, the only mag issue I've had is I have a couple Cerakoted mags, and they like to not drop as fast as a non-Cerakoted mag. Not a fan of people Cerakoting mags above. Like, put your tape on there. If you're going to paint a mag, like what I did here. You see this? This is how I like a mag painted. Is put your tape there, put it in the gun, get the line on wear so that you're not painting the area that has friction, with temperature and everything else that can be in there. Yeah.
Have you seen people paint the whole mag?
Yeah, I actually ordered some because I wanted some M81 Woodland mags at the time. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, maybe they baked them really good. You know what I mean? But like, No, never do it. I don't care if it's Cerakote. I don't care if it's spray paint.
Yeah, no, that's a you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
I've never seen it.
Oh yeah, I have a couple. The one thing I would say too is it does feel like Duramags are slightly smaller than a PMag. So like I feel like you get a little more wiggle room inside of that mag like even when it's inserted, I feel like there's just more room slightly with metal mags. So they're also shorter. So now you're changing the height of your tripod there, right? But yeah, I'll pretty much all my go-to mags for like it's time to rock have this DOS boot on it. And now I did notice I put a few on 20 rounders, probably because it is only for Gen 3 PMags. So I need to calculate to see if I have some other Gen 3 PMags and rip them off those 20 rounders because there's no real point to have them on the 20 rounders, to be honest with you, because I'm not using that as a monopod ever, even with the plus 2. Nice. All my Lancers are primarily designated to 300 blackout. That way I don't confuse things. So I have 300 blackout Lancers, 5.56 PMags. I do have 2 5.56 PMags. They both have +5 extensions on them, so they're both 35 rounders, and they're the Lancer +5s. And so that helps me differentiate the fact that those are my 5.56 Lancers. I only have 2 of them. Paint the follower, yeah, that would be a fantastic idea, right, Karen Wilson? Paint the follower. If you want to train malfunctions for the day.
Man, bro, I am pulling ticks off of me left and right from being out there today.
No way.
Oh my gosh, man.
Are you kidding me?
No. Like literally, I just pulled one off me. It's probably the 7th one.
Is it reddish?
Last hour.
Oh, on your skin?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give you a heads up, bro, because they've been dropping. I think these ticks are weaponized warfare, to be honest with you.
Dude, they're everywhere. It feels like it.
Have you ever heard of alpha gal syndrome?
Oh yeah, I know a couple people that have it.
Me too. I have a family member that has it, and had no idea that he had it until one day he went and ate steak and went into anaphylactic shock. So I hope you got some EpiPens because you may not even know you have it until you eat some steak. And they had an EpiPen and saved him, got him to the hospital, and dude hasn't eaten steak in like 5 years now. Any red
man. That sucks, man. I love steak.
Me too, bro. So just be careful. Man. Be careful, dude. We do not know what type of hybrid lab created things are being spread around us.
That's sad, man. But you're right.
A tick key? What's a tick key? Eat steak while you can, homie. Hustle bones. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, bro. Steak's too good. It's the Indians who are dropping biological warfare on us. Which Indians? The Indians from India or the Christopher Columbus Indians?
The red dots or the feathers?
Red dots or feathers? It's talking about it on TED Talks. Yeah, sea ticks are horrible. I'll send you a pic, Nomad. All right, cool. All right, let's hit play. Let's keep rocking out with this. You guys enjoying this? I love this kind of stuff. Let's rock out.
You're gone because I can tell
how much it is.
What's going on.
And it's the same. The reason we harp on connection and like how firm the gun is in your body so much is it's the exact same as your grip with a pistol. It's the exact same thing. We have a little bit more advantages where we have more of the gun that we can touch. We can put our head on it, which changes recoil management quite a lot. It's why I don't like the tall optics unless you have a giraffe neck, because you're just losing so much surface area that you could be having on the gun. And some of you guys running tall optics probably see like, ooh, prone, it kind of like craning my neck, like it kind of is uncomfortable and sucks. We want to be covering this gun with stuff, body parts, arms, elbows, the ground as much as possible, barricades when we get to it, so that the gun, I'll just rip 5. It's 5. Like I said, this isn't a counting class, but the gun, my dot is flying just slightly to the right. It's on the target. I guarantee those are all on the target because they have a good position. And the reason we're starting this class in the prone is this is the most fundamental, like optimal position for rifle shooting. And at all other times, we're trying to replicate prone. Whether I'm standing, kneeling, barricade, off a car, off of some object, we're always trying to replicate prone. So this is why we start the class here at 100 to really build this. And then all this will apply on everything else that we do.
My dot always jumps like right here,
Yep.
but it returns fast.
Yep, same.
Okay.
It's the same, yeah. I'll have a great platform. I'll be aiming here. Dot will go like here-ish, and then it will drop in. And this is where weapon setup can make a big difference. Like if I'm shooting a gun that weighs 12 pounds and I have a muzzle brake, yeah, that dot's going to be like here. If I'm shooting a rowdy gun with a lot of gas, it's like a flash hider, it'll jump. But as long as I can get it to come to the same spot and it's a very fast return, that's okay. But yeah, I'm always flashing slightly to the right just because that's where I have one hand. This hand's way back here. If I could shoot the gun like a pistol where I could be perfect, then I could keep the gun 12 o'clock and never fall down. But because, well, rifles aren't designed that way, it's always going to go up just a little bit. And even if I force my body to this side, you just can't fight it. It's still going to jump right a little bit. And that's okay if you know that's what's happening. And the most important part is the gun's just returning very quickly, because that's what matters, is that the gun settles fast and it's not bang and it takes forever to come back down. But it's good that you're paying attention to that and you see it's up here. And then if you were to shoot this on magnified, you would lose the target in the recoil. You'd be like, whoa, and you'd be like way up here, and it's magnified. The issue is magnified. So that's why magnifiers like at certain distances are not better. It's better to have a full picture of what's going on downrange so you can really pay attention to what your gun's doing versus being sucked into a scope.
Gotcha.
I can somewhat agree with that. Like the point of a magnifier is to take a more precise shot, not so you could reduce your field of view and shoot 5 rounds at 200 yards. Like it's for observation, you know, is what it is. I think you should just test to see how your gun operates. Yeah. Target identification. Yeah. I mean, obviously just when you slap a magnifier behind it, you're reducing the field of view that is there in your window of your dot. I don't know if I buy the whole like every single time when you're a right-handed shooter you're inputting the I think maybe in the prone maybe, but I noticed my gun going up left because of the gas port. And like I said, I even though I C-clamp it, I really know I'm not applying I do not apply pressure to the handguard in any fashion. Now I might drive the gun like if like I'm on a shot timer, right? I'll notice obviously I'm bringing the gun up with that hand, you know what I mean? Like I'm using some of the backhand. It's kind of like a flip motion, but then I'm inputting the handguard with all kinds of stuff. But like once I get on target, the only thing that hand's doing is like applying pressure to where pressure is needed. So like if I draw the gun and my red dot's off right, what's that hand going to do? It's pulling left. If I'm off left, I'm pushing to the right, you know? But like in the prone, I don't really C-clamp in the prone. I kind of just hold it. Like I'll open my palm and I'll take my elbow's down, and then I just let it rest on that hand instead of C-clamping, because I don't know, the way my arm is bent is different than You know, my wrist is
When
bent
you're in the
differently.
when you're in the prone, you just let it rest in your hand.
Yeah, I don't grip it as tight as when I do standing. I kind of
Yeah.
just make my hand like my arm, you know, like it's resting on it. And maybe I should
That's not a
try that
that
more standing, but I
that's
noticed
not a
that
bad idea.
hmm
That's not a bad idea. Like I said, a lot of people tend to fight recoil. It's you see it in skilled shooters, new shooters. They're always trying to fight recoil, and it causes more issues than it would be if you just let the rifle do what it's going to do. It
yeah,
causes a lot of issues.
that's prone supported. Nice. Don Gideon Noble. Don Geo Noble. Well, yep. I like the technical term. Appreciate you coming. Everybody is saying make sure you get all the ticks off within 48 hours. Using duct tape as blousers. Yeah, I would if I was in a place like that, I would want my pants duct taped or at least tuck the pants into the shoes and tie it tight.
Oh
Or
yeah,
if you have the straps, the Velcro straps, make them tight around the shoes, stuff like that. I had a tick one time coming back from that range I was telling you where I put paper on for the last couple of years all the time. It's out there in the woods, and I came home and had one on my hand and freaked out. I was like, no, but I did notice like it was like stuck to I'm Italian, so I got hair, and it was like stuck to my hair upside down, and I was like, yes, there's no way you bit me, you're upside down. So it wasn't like in me or anything. It was just like somehow attached to me. And I was like, ugh. But I was still worried about it then. The other thing I will say about prone, so like the way my arms are, and you could probably even see it just in this small thing, right? Look how long my forearm is compared to my bicep, right? Like I have short biceps, which has always helped me have strength in my biceps. When I'm playing basketball, obviously I wish I would have had long biceps and long forearms. But when you have a shorter forearm, right, and you make this put your elbow down, your hand is going to be in a different. So this goes back to my background, dude.
I never paid attention to my. Now I'm like, man, do I have long bicep? I think I do. I think my bicep's pretty long.
Yeah, you look like you got long arms.
Oh yeah, I got good reach. I can keep you away.
Nice.
Keep you at a distance.
It's got that jab, that distance jab.
Oh yeah, I got that good jab. Yeah,
nice.
Keep you away.
But yeah, I mean the way that your body is designed. Some people have longer torsos. Some people have short torsos, longer legs. Some of that stuff does affect your biomechanics, and ultimately, yes, we're all pretty made up very similarly, but it's just something for people to think about when it comes to like finding the best position that optimizes your body type for whatever it is you're trying to do. Just a thought.
Man, I just got the heebie-jeebies, man. I just keep feeling like there's something on me right now. I'm like, I just want to get up and check my balls.
I was gonna say we're on live stream and we'd probably get a lot of views if you just do a full tick analysis on yourself. And I'll probably get kicked off YouTube. Nah, don't do it. Don't do it.
We might get banned.
If you need to pause and go do a quick strip check in the bathroom, shower.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
That's a lot of
a shower.
You didn't find none. You didn't find none in the shower.
No, my wife did. She
Nice.
found like 7 of them on me.
7, dude.
Here, check me. 7.
Were any of them like in your skin already?
No, they were trying to get there.
Nice.
They were fresh.
Nice. I like those retard ticks that don't know how to bite very fast, and they're just.
I wish they were all retard ticks.
Right. All right. Let's see what they're about to talk about here.
Shoo-doo-doo-doo. Is it playing? Am I missing it? Are you screen sharing?
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. I'm watching the video.
I could tell you're into it. You're like, yeah, this is good stuff. And we're just watching you.
Because I got something to talk about here. And hold on, let me back it up here. So we saw that. All right.
Like at certain distances are not better. It's better to have a full picture of what's going on downrange so you can really pay attention to what your gun's doing versus being sucked into a scope.
Gotcha.
Something to think about, righties versus lefties. You will see this in prone, but it's especially pronounced once we get into our standing iterations. All right. So if I'm right-handed, when I pull my trigger, what's path of least resistance for the gun? Where's it want to recoil?
Back.
High right. Because I'm building in all this structure and support on this side of the gun, right? And so ways to kind of counteract that is some people will start to push their shoulder forward, right? Or they'll pull very hard into this. Really, we're trying to create a flat surface towards the target, right? Also in the prone, it manifests that way. So I can tell some of you guys, when you guys were starting to speed up on your doubles, if you're a right-handed shooter, you were starting to get shot patterns up in the high right of the target. Does that make sense? Now that we're starting to become aware of recoil and we're starting to bear down on the gun, when I exaggerate my position, do you guys see where my muzzle wants to go?
Mm-hmm. Low.
So now if people are changing and they're applying tension during that doubles, that right-handed shooter, now he starts to group Charlie Delta over here. Does that make sense? And a lefty is the opposite. What we're trying to find, because we're about to do doubles from prone, right? What we're trying to find is those pressures that we apply to the gun, and then we keep them constant because they give us a good natural sight return, where with no effort, our gun comes right back to where it just was. If we apply more tension during the string, I bet you're going to start to see some of that manifest on your target, right? Or if we relax, we'll see the inverse. We'll see that rise, given your respective firing shoulder. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, great. Let's go work on doubles.
All right. So one thing I noticed that I do, and I honestly think it's drastically improved my shooting, is going from a stance where my foot was significantly, my right leg on my shooting side was back, I had a staggered stance, kind of like old hunting rifle a little bit. When I brought my foot forward and squared up more to the target, like shoulders square to target, I didn't have that shoulder dropping back anymore. So I didn't have to roll it forward. It was it's already forward for me. And I just am straight up.
So proper stance is you want to stand feet shoulder width apart. Okay. Mm-hmm. You want your support leg to come forward. So, okay, so you've got your feet like this, okay? Your toes are side by side. You want to bring your support foot up to about the arch of your firing hand. Okay, and then you want to be both feet pointed forward, squared on target. And so this is all predicated on the next move. So if you're at a proper low ready and you're in the proper stance, when you're at a low ready, so if you can turn your head both ways as a proper low ready, so you should be able to get 90 degrees of turn. Okay. So when you're that way, when you're standing the proper way, even when you're on glass, or what they call it in training is EOTech TV. When you're on EOTech TV, when you're here, if you're in a proper stance, you can turn your body without ever moving any of your feet. So you will have 90 degrees both ways, except for maybe to your right. You won't have quite 90 degrees, but it's a way to give you, everything is predicated on the next move. So you're right. And so what you don't want is people to have their feet like this and then one foot back like that, almost like you're getting ready to punch somebody. That is not the proper way to do it. It is not.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's going to make you a more efficient shooter, is what you just said. So you want to be kind of hunched over with the majority of the weight being on your support leg. So, and you want a slight arch at your hip just over, and that's going to keep the recoil from pushing your shoulder back, and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I really try hard to not have more weight on one foot than the other foot. I try hard to have I try hard to make sure I have both feet with equal amount of like pressure and weight on them. Like I'm not more on my right leg leaning or more on my left leg, because if I have to take off and run or move, or I start moving, right? Like if I'm walking, let's say I don't know, do I need to walk backwards? Do I need to walk forwards? Right? One thing that Weston teaches at Freedom Training and Tactics, stance is not a constant, right? Because majority of the time you're moving. So like if in the ideal scenario you're not moving at all, you're like, okay, what is my best stance if like I'm just standing here and I happen to like, and I think probably maybe police officers might get this more than anything else. Like if they have multiple guys who are watching someone, right? They're in that low ready and they're like, I'm just waiting to see, make sure he doesn't draw anything, or, make sure he doesn't. And even they have a lot of dynamics in their situations. But I mean, rarely are you like, I'm standing still waiting for the bad guy to appear. Like you're constantly moving. So, but for me, I try to be on balance on both legs. And I make a point, like before I start a drill, I'll shift my weight right, shift my weight left. Because I noticed guys who put too much weight on one foot and then they're managing the recoil, they start to get off balance easier. And I've always approached it like basically like I would do it in sports performance, like an offensive lineman who's driving into somebody, right? Like you're trained to block in football, of like coming up and driving up into someone, and both of your legs are powering like a press, right? You're using like a hip thrust up. Or another example would be like playing defense in basketball, right? Like if as an offensive player in basketball, I'm like, if he's got more weight on that foot, I'm gonna attack that foot because he can't move it as fast as he can move that foot, right? These are like things that you notice in the human body. Now, that might be what they're used to, and I might be approaching this from my sports performance background, but like that is the way I have noticed seeing someone who has too much weight on one leg, that they're like lead, because the more they shoot, they dig in on that leg more and more and more. And when you're
and I don't mean you should have, like, you shouldn't be noticeably more weight. So your front leg, I say your front, but your support leg should be a little bit bent, with most of your body coming a little forward, leaning almost into the rifle, and the rifle tucked right around your collarbone and not in your shoulder pocket. And so like Wes said, yes, everything is, if you have the proper stance, everything will be predicated on that next move. So you're right. He's 100% right. Your stance is not always, it's not a constant at all.
Yeah.
But a proper stance makes it easier to move. So like I can get, when I fix my stance, I can move easily in that stance, and I can walk in that stance, keeping your knees. So like when you're walking, it's so you don't want to move your whole leg. You kind of want to move your feet at the knees, and kind of stride. So if you walk with both legs, you're going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. But if you keep that crouch, keep over your rifle, and you just kind of step leisurely with just your knees moving, you're going to have a constant, just level rifle. And then everything from that base is predicated on the next move. And there's just no way that if you're in the proper stance that you're going to get off balance. It's just no way. Now, if you are putting one, a lot of times people get off balance shooting rifles when they're standing straight up. There's no bend, there's no structure to what there's no foundation. Let's say that they have no foundation, and that's, that's just that's the way I've been taught. That's the way I teach it. And it seems to work. This is something that's came with me a long way. Through
sure.
Maritime Safety and Security Response Team, all the way up to now what I do, what I did with Homeland Security, so on and so forth, training with them guys, law enforcement, SWAT teams. I've done it. I've worked with all of them, and it's kind of, you kind of get to pick the best of each thing. It's one of the best things about working with a lot of different people, and like you said, it's never constant. You can always tweak and change what works for you, but the foundation is the most important thing. You got to have a good foundation to start anything else.
I agree. I talked to Weston about this because, like, obviously we shoot with guys pretty frequently, and I could 509 trained with me before, and like, I noticed that guys who are into this, their grip is usually not retarded. They figured that out well, right? They understand how to hold their pistol. Every now and then I'll still see people, their grip slips and they haven't mastered that part yet. But like sight alignment, sight picture, grip, and stance is one of the ones that I notice is weakest on a lot of people, and that's what messes up their other things that they're good at. They're pretty decent at a lot of the other fundamentals, but their stance they haven't figured out. It's like, what is the best stance for me? And I think stance is one of those things that, like, whoever you've watched a lot who you think are good shooters, that's kind of what you mimic.
Yeah.
Where
I sit and watch YouTubers, man, and it's like, oh, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, there's just, and some of these guys were law enforcement for years and now have stopped being law enforcement to do YouTube. And it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, you're almost turned sideways, like you're shooting a shotgun. It's like, dude, you're putting this out there. And like you just said, a lot of people that are new to this stuff are going to mimic that, but again, it goes back to the foundation. When you start with a bad foundation. So for instance, let's say somebody's shooting, one of the, let's go to pistol. It's the easiest thing to describe. One of the biggest, when people first start shooting, the biggest thing that you see is the seatbelt pattern, low left. You know what I mean? So that means you're coming from the A box and then you go all the way low left. And that's from a bad pistol grip. That is you fighting recoil and holding the pistol wrong. Well, the problem is that when people have shot that way for so long, it takes thousands and thousands of reps to get and fix that stance or that properly. And that's why it's important to get to people early and fix the fundamentals and fix the foundation so they have something to build off of, and they're building the right muscle memory and the right habits early in their shooting life. You know what I mean? It's imperative, man. It's imperative. It is imperative to fix the things that you can fix and build a good foundation, because if you don't, everything that follows is just going to be wrong.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta, and that, this is why I think video is so good for people, man, because when you do video, when you video yourself, you can see what's wrong more and more. You can see your stance. You can diagnose your grip a little better. You can slow a footage down, especially for like people, similar to us who edit videos, right? Like in CapCut, I can slow something down and scan back and forth and like dial in. I've actually screen recorded people, thrown it into CapCut, spread it out wider just so I can like literally
so you can see what they're doing
microseconds and be like, oh, okay, I see. So like one guy, shout out to, hold on, what's his name? I talked to him on Instagram. He's got a great YouTube channel, great Instagram. Alex Thompson. Alex Thompson. He almost every time, dude, he's money at it. And I have the disadvantages. I lost tons of weight and I still have tons of XXL shirts. So I'm swimming in these shirts. And like now I'm like, yes, get me back. I'm back to XL. When I wear my XL, I can conceal draw better. I can get under the shirt better. But on my XXLs, like this dude, every time he pulls his shirt up to pull his pistol, he has like a throwing his shirt this way that gets it hooked behind his spare mag. So his spare mag's exposed. And I've been working hard at that kind of stuff. But I had to really slow it down to be like, because he moves fast. Alex is fast. I had to slow it.
What's his name? Alex Thompson?
Alex Thompson. And he's just a regular civilian who loves training like we do. It's what I like about him. And he's a gym head, so I love that too. So I had to slow his video down and go back and forth to be like, how is he getting the shirt put in the right place every time? And I know he's worked at it. And shout out to him because he's motivated me to dry fire more almost daily. I've noticed my outside the waistband reloads are just so much better from doing that many reloads every day.
Yeah, dry fire is where you're going to get at home. You're going to get better than you at home doing the reps and the muscle memory than you ever will at the range.
There's still so much missing though. Yes, you will.
I agree. But the fundamentals, drawing, finding your dot, getting sight picture,
those basics. But
the basics,
I feel like the other half, like half the stuff we've watched in this video. Robert Ham, good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Always an honor to have you in the building. So one thing, like what they talked about today, is like tracking your dot under recoil, right? Can't do that in dry fire. Can't figure out your stance against the recoil, So like it's both. I 100% think it's like they're both equal. Like you could shoot on the range a lot, and if you don't dry fire a lot, your skills are not going to improve as fast on the range. And if you only dry fire and you don't go live fire, you're missing that portion too. So like they go, to me, they're like a hand-in-hand thing is dry fire and live fire.
Yeah. So when we work with people, we will, especially with like, introductory to rifle or introductory to pistol, we don't do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of fundamentals. And then at the end of the range, at the end of the day, we say, hey, look, one of the key components to you getting better is going to be dry fire. We go over dry fire techniques, all that stuff. And then we expect you to be a little bit better when you get back. Dude, 85% of the people, it's like starting all over again. It's like, what did you do? What did you do while you were, it's your money. I'll train you as much as you want. But if you want to progress to the next level, you got to do a little dry fire. People just get in their mind that they're only going to get better at the range, and that's just not the case.
It is not the case. That's why this like if you're going to become good at shooting, it's a lifestyle because you're going to incorporate dry fire.
It's a lifestyle
every day or every other day at home.
And so what a lot of the people, a lot of people that see myself or you or Dark or, a lot of these guys is that they don't. Yes, we're here. We're speaking about this stuff, But if we were on the phone or if we were texting, we would be talking about this same stuff. Like, yo, like you just text me randomly, yo, hey, check this video out. Like, this is, you're right. It is a lifestyle. It is a life. It is something that you're going to live and breathe. And that's what it is. You don't have to be that way to get good. It's just going to take a lot longer. And, you know, I myself have worked with law enforcement guys that I would trust you or a lot of these guys that we talked with in YouTube before I would ever trust them guys beside me. It's 100%. It's just fact.
And I'll be honest, like the trust I have in myself was not the same as it was 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean? I was fairly new. I didn't start receiving proper instruction until about 2-3 years ago. So like, did I know a lot? Was I obsessed with it? Was it my lifestyle? Yes, it was. And I progressed very quickly because I had that drive and obsession to get better. But like no matter what, man, it takes good sets of eyes on you, critiquing you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
You know, it really 100%. Does.
You always got to be. You got to be, and it doesn't matter anything in life. You have to be open to constructive criticism, and you have to find fault or flaws in anything that you do to get better. Mm-hmm. So it's just a fact. You can't work with somebody that just, you know, just doesn't. It's like one of the main things. Like we'll run like with the church, we'll run basic rifle courses for some of the guys at church. And then I'll have friends. I'll put it out there. I'll say, hey, we're running a rifle course, a basic rifle. You want to come out and join us? Nah, man, I don't need basic rifle. Why?
Yes, you do.
I mean, why?
No,
dude,
bro.
Come out, hang out. It's free. It's a free class. Just come hang out and shoot and work on your fundamentals. No,
you should take basic rifle every week for the rest of your life. Let me tell you.
100%. You can't do nothing with people like that, man.
Bro.
You just can't. People that are just ego, man.
I think some people think basic rifle is like, this is a bolt release. This is a safety. Like, no, that's not.
I don't know.
All right, let's see what they're getting into. Let's get back to the video. I don't think we're definitely not going to make it through this whole video, but maybe we'll make it like.
Do you have any spots that we could hit? Like, were any like high points where you can say, all right, well, let's hit this one or let's hit this.
I think they're starting to get into some of the points that I made it to. I probably made it about halfway, so like we're close to all the stuff that I was like, oh, okay, that's something I want to talk about. Let's see where they're at right here because I only watched it once, and I know there were just a lot in it that I wanted to hit.
The scope shadow is killing me whenever it bounces around, so I'm having trouble doing anything fast. So I did this, and I was better at doing fast, and it doesn't seem like it killed me as much. But
yeah, so
the higher is not good for prone.
Yeah, well, I also really only run a magnifier. Like when we're shooting at 200, I'll run a magnifier because I actually have an astigmatism.
Me too.
And so with the magnifier, I can dial it out. You get it? Yeah. You know, I also would say like even when we get to barricades and you're going to be using this magnifier, you would need like a pretty significant riser on your stock to be able to build into the correct position if you're trying to run sights that high. And that's why we bring
them
lower.
Yeah. Because
we can maintain a good connection here. Well, I would say.
I mean, I agree with what he's saying. I run a cheek riser. You can see it right here in this picture. This guy to the far left, you know,
yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I run those, and they make an absolute improvement because you want your face to hit the rifle the same place every time. And if you put risers on your gun and your face is lower, you know, it's like running the AK stock where it's like if you put a riser on an AK, but the stock goes down, like it's all about getting everything in the right place on your rifle. Building out your rifle, you got to get stuff in the right. It looks like the instructor has a little cheek riser on there. From what I see.
I was not a riser guy, and a buddy of mine had a Unity riser. He didn't use it. He's like, here, just take it, see what you think. And I can't go back. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I
do
love
too.
them. I mean, everything is. I mean, my cheek. I get my cheek weld at the same spot, but everything is just right there. I mean, when the rifle comes up, it's. I mean, it's seamless, dude. It is. What the problem is once you use them, you can't go back. I have spent probably 400 bucks on Unity risers. All of my guns are in my truck right now, but I mean, even I got an EOTech right there with one on it, and I've got a Gideon optic on the Geisley back there that has a riser on it.
Yeah, for me too, dude. Wearing glasses, like I don't want to turn my head and camp my head, and like I want to be able to look straight up. And so for me, it's like if I put the stock in the same place every time, then I know that I'm there. And I only need like a chin weld. I don't need this like pressure of my face against the back of the gun. And I feel like now you're inputting more pressure onto the gun itself. So like that riser allows you to just put it right into your shoulder pocket, lean forward, right? Which Achilles Heel Tactical calls it chest over belly button, shoulders over your belly button. So just a slight forward lean, not like the old drastic guys, but just taking that, this is straight plumb, and then boom, shoulders over belly button. And yeah, I like risers. I like them in the prone too. Because again, I don't have to like keep digging. But I mean, everybody's got their own thing that they like, So
yep.
Are you putting your hand on here?
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, because you're applying horizontal force instead of being on the rail.
Back.
That's why
most people get rid of these, huh?
Well, that and you'll really get rid of it once we get to barricade shooting.
It looked like there was a little bit of slop with the stock with your entire position.
Okay.
It looked pretty good, but it looked like there was still some space and some movement back here.
Okay.
So I would say try to really make sure either when you get in the prone, you're choking up onto the gun to make sure, hey, my stock is in a good spot, or just bring the gun back into you.
Okay.
To really make sure the gun has good stuff behind it.
Yeah.
Because it looked like there was a little bit of improvement that could be had there.
So for our next drill, what we're going to do is we're actually going to start standing essentially in like a patrolling orientation. When the shot timer goes off, we're going to enter and build a good prone position, and then we're going to shoot 5 rounds. Essentially, I level out my rifle, right? I plant my offhand, I extend my legs, I come down over the top of my rifle, and this allows me to shoot.
I like that.
All right, so I'm gonna say something there. Let me see if I can go back to where he's shooting. Oops, I think it's like right here, right here. Okay, so you see how he has so he's got a bill on his hat, okay, and he's got his chin and his nose angled at a 45-degree angle down. I like my head up straight, looking straight down. I prefer that, especially with my glasses and stuff. Like, I don't want to look through the top of my glasses where I can see the rim of this. And then I'm also limited by the bill of my hat. Like, as soon as I can get my head straight and level, I just opened up my field of view. And it might just be natural. It might be the way my neck is. I don't know. But yeah, for me, that's a little too low.
Yeah, I did like his technique to get on the ground, though.
Oh yeah, that is the only technique to get on the ground.
I usually just drop to my knee, take lollygag. That was pretty nifty.
Yeah, that is the way to get into the prone is hand down, because you create a tripod, hand down, feet out. All right, let's keep going.
5 rounds. So I'm here. I'm just kind of in patrolling configuration.
Stand by. It's back up.
What was first shot on that?
286.
Okay, so honestly, that's a little fast. We kind of assess like around 3 to 3.5 for initial shot is repeatable for building a good position.
Take a second to think about, am I like weird? Am I jacked up? How was that rep? Think about it. You'll get a lot more out of the rep. But if you take that time at the end to be like, oh yeah, I know why that 5 felt weird. It's because I was like way over here and I wasn't square like I was when we had all the time in the world to build that perfect position.
Yeah, even for me on my first of like my 3 mini demos I did for you guys right there, I don't know if anybody saw it, but on my first shot, I did not have like enough cheek stock connection. And I was like, oh, that's a little weak sauce. And I tightened it up for the next 4.
No, instructors are supposed to pretend that they never make mistakes.
No.
What have you done?
Most instructors don't shoot at 100 yards in front of students.
You're not wrong. All right.
So I don't know if you noticed there was one guy, right? Because of magazine, so the Das boot here has this curve on it, which I think helps because your bottom of your PMag, right? It's flat. So to level the gun out, and the mag is like not 100% 90 degrees. Yeah, it's probably pretty close to 90 degrees. No, it's not. So if you're using that as a tripod and you're on the edge of something and you're applying pressure, you're going to get this movement. Dang, I'm frozen. You guys can't see what I'm doing, huh? See if I make myself big. I'm so low. Nope, I'm still frozen. Shenanigans. But the way that mag is, you could see it on one guy's, and I'm sure they're just going to say, just support the gun more with the other things. But yeah, if you start applying too much pressure into the ground with that magazine, I think you're susceptible to that thing kind of rocking on the mag. And I don't know. Some people probably say that you can create a malfunction with that as well, but I don't know. Probably not. There we go. I'm moving now. No, I'm just frozen in another position. All right, we'll carry on.
So we're done playing around, messing around. How do you guys feel about your recoil management from your first, hey, slow 10 rounds, off you go, shoot, versus now what you're doing, jumping into a prone position, shooting 5 pretty rapidly? I would say you guys are shooting pretty quick. Pretty good? Pretty good, better? So here's my question, and it's not rhetorical. When we are shooting an accuracy-based group, a marksmanship-based group, or we're zeroing our rifle, why do we wait between shots? So what you'll see is when people drop.
All right, this was one I vehemently disagree with. So I'm glad we made it to this part. I greatly disagree with him about how to zero your rifle and what he's about to say. But let's hear what he's got to say.
Down, they want to shoot an accurate group, they go slow. Bang. Some amount of time, the gun already settled. I mean, we know that. The gun's pretty fast at recoiling, but we're taking all this artificial time or some time to confirm the target, confirm our sight, confirm the target, check our breathing, think about, am I good? Yes, I am. And then 5 seconds later, we fire. But the reality is, if my dot jumps off the target in recoil, which it will, no matter what, we don't have recoilless rifles, they'll recoil. If the dot's there on the target, why don't we just fire? We don't have to wait. In fact, the waiting actually causes more issues in some cases because we start to overthink, we're over-concerned, we start to focus more on our dot than the target. And it actually causes more inaccuracy, especially when zeroing a rifle, than just dropping down and going, I want to shoot that thing right there. I fire, dot rises, falls. I fire, dot rises and falls. I go down there and I'm like, wow, that's actually like pretty good. And then you have all the FUDs who go, you fired way too fast to zero that rifle. You were shooting every round in half a second instead of the mandatory 5 seconds or whatever the dumb amount of time it is.
So I don't know how you feel about that, but I don't know if there's like a 5 second or whatever. A lot of times I'll shoot a few shots. When I zero a rifle, I probably shoot like when I really want to get a real hard zero, like I was telling you, I go to the place with the sled. When I have that sled, I've noticed I could take, faster follow-up shots because the gun's locked into a sled, right? It still moves, right? Everything still moves, but I know that like I get it right back on, boom. Move everything, get it right back on, boom. Get it right back on, boom. And also I only have 1 hour to zero probably usually 2 rifles is what I take and confirm 2 rifles. So, yeah, I mean, I get what he's saying. You want like just natural. You don't want to be like over stressed trying to like hold this dot on a spot, but like, I guess the biggest thing at the end of the day is just make sure you get a good zero. If that's how he likes to do it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I can usually, as long as I'm on paper, I can zero my rifle within 2 or 3 shots.
What do you zero your at 100 yards?
Well, so for my no. I'm a 36-yard zero guy.
Gotcha.
So all of my ARs are zeroed at 36 yards.
All of mine are.
I believe I have. Yeah. I'm 36. Just takes the guesswork out of it. I think it's just the best zero that you can do for a rifle.
I agree. You're holding low on everything between 36 and 300. Your impact's going to be high, and around 200 and 250, you're about 4 inches. And other than that, everything else is right there, really.
Yeah. Yep. From 36 to 300, I think you got a 6-inch split, and which is incredible.
Mm-hmm. And I think you're low compared to your 36, right? I mean, like I said, I've shot my 36-yard zero out to 375 standing, and if I can get some support, I can do it 10 out of 10.
Nice.
That 36-yard zero simplifies it greatly.
100%.
So what we're going to do is from the standing into the prone, you're going to shoot 10 rounds, but you're shooting as fast as your dot is returning to your spot that you're finding. And what I would bet is that 90% of you will have a just as good of a group or a better group than your slow 10 rounds you did this morning, that you all were like, oh, it's going to be super accurate. I'm going to take my time, think about my reticle when it's there, confirm. All of you had nice A-zone groups. I'm going to venture a guess, a prediction, a polymarket bet that you guys are going to drop down and you're going to have the exact same group in like a third of the time, possibly a quarter of the time, depending on how slow some of you guys are shooting. So I'm going to go ahead and demo this on my target on the left.
All right, shooter, are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by. All right, that was a 6.26 and right around a 3.5 first shot.
Calling 2 Charlies, one on the right at the end and one on the left.
All right, he's calling 2 C's.
2 C, maybe a D on the left and a C on the right. I had a good position. One of my feet could have been down a little bit more. I felt that, but dots rising and falling. Dots rising and falling. I don't need to wait. I want to just blast this, and we're gonna do this twice. We're also gonna do it at 200 later. We're gonna do this twice. So if on your first rep you were like, man, that kind of sucks, we can clean up on the second one so you guys can get a feel of what this looks like.
It seems easier to do just more natural.
Yes. Yeah. Standing more naturally into the gun and having your stock leg, so in this case my right leg, behind so I can lean forward with my support arm, is a lot more consistent than squaring up or doing this leg in front, because now like I can really pull the gun. And obviously if I have to shoot from here, I will. It's just my dot is going to move a bit more than if I'm in the optimal position. And then I just have to, only shoot when the dot's on the target. It will be slower.
Yeah.
And then I just, exactly. So my first group, my slow demo group, was like big A. I think it was like 1C. So I called one of these being over here. It wasn't, because I was just, focused on the target. And then I called one of these, it's probably this guy I thought was here. But this is a tighter group than my overthinking it, like really, oh, I'm trying to position my dot somewhere. And I think part of the reason for that is if I'm just going really fast, it doesn't give my brain time to like kind of overthink it and go, oh, was this actually the spot I was looking? Or was I upper third? Or was I middle or was I lower third? I literally just went upper third. I just want the dot to be there and I'm just going to fire, and it's super fast. So definitely look at your groups from an outcome standpoint. Like, what is the group where you were aiming? Is it tight? Is it massive? Think about that. We're going to go back and do this one more time, doing the same thing. We'll run the whole course at once. You don't have to think about people watching you, but we're still doing the same thing. We're picking a fine point. We're spamming 10 bullets or tilt bolt lock, trying to have the best group as far as where I'm shooting, where my dot is landing on the target. And you're just rattling those off. And all of you are already shooting this in sub 10.
See, so still,
yeah.
And that's this
from pulling it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure, because it's just going to be very hard for you to be neutral with that grip, and so you're going to you're going to fight it. If you look like foregrip here, and then
Uh-oh. I think we're alone now.
Wow, I guess how long did it drop me? Oh, and it looks like it dropped Delta Mike now. They got the Nomad. Lucas heard he disagreed and took him out. That's funny. Am I back? I'm 5x5. How long was I out for? I mean, yeah, when you fired 1 billion rounds, you already have the muscle memory and sure faster. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there is. I guess on second watch, I get what he's saying because I've done that multiple times. Like I'm just waiting for the dot to get right back to where I'm aiming and let it go. Dot where I'm aiming, let it go. And you're less focused on being so perfect that you're more fluid and less maybe more relaxed because you know like you're on this mission of like getting these rounds where that when that dot settles on that thing. As soon as I see the dot settle where I'm focused on, because I'm staying target focused, aim small, miss small. Yeah, you could just break that shot. And I mean, at 100 yards, you don't really have parallax and things like that. You're running a red dot. So I think, man, with them, so they're using like just cardboard, right? They're not using like a high vis target. So you know, that would make it a little bit easier. But if you're shooting at cardboard like that, you know, you're just like, okay, I'm holding it. You understand where the dot is more than you're like picking a spot on that, which you're still picking a spot. It's just, I don't know. I love zeroing on high vis targets because obviously if it's 100 yards away, you don't want to have to like shoot 3 rounds, shoot 5 rounds, then walk back and walk back and walk back and forth just to confirm a few times doing this. But that's why I really like zeroing with a sled on an indoor range with no wind. There's no wind in there at 100 yards. So if you could find one, ours is called Shooter's World, and it's by the tourist side of Central Florida. So it's cool that it exists. I literally only go there to go to the 100-yard range and zero stuff. But I actually sometimes want to go shoot indoors. After shooting outdoors as much as I do, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's still good to go and be like, let's see how fast I can shoot. Well, yeah, I don't know if they have the rapid fire thing at every indoor range. Some ranges do, but shooting is fun in any regard. I guess I shoot enough outside that I'm not like I don't feel like I can't go to an indoor range and still find something useful there. Try to make it as useful as possible. But yeah, if you haven't seen that training video, I think it's super cool. And I think everybody should. Hey, stop chewing on that. I think everybody should take classes, get instruction, get feedback, learn different things from different people. I don't know if anybody's interested in Belgian Malinois puppies. This is the pick of the litter female. She has got one of the coolest coats. Good, look at this little girl. What's up? What's up, girl? She's super cool. And I don't know why the boy that I kept from the last litter, he's super attached to her. I think he's like trying to be like, oh, she's the puppy that looks the most like me. But yeah, he's sniffing her, and yep, she ain't gonna be around all the time. But if anybody's interested in Belgian Malinois puppies, 8 weeks this weekend, so ready to go home and start being your best buddy and your home defender. I love nerding out on training footage, so you know, with my background in sports performance training, I look at things a little bit differently. But sometimes I shouldn't, because guys who have way more time behind the gun than I do, I tend to always humble myself. Hey, stop. I know. This is the Chihuahua who likes to literally think he's like the head of the house. You gotta chill out, dude. You gotta chill out. But I humble myself down and I take whatever they're saying as like gospel for the day, and then I'll put my own time in and see if it works for me. And yeah, she's adorable. Robert, if you're interested in one, man, I got one set aside for you. Tell Hard Actual, you already know. Tough guy, huh? Yeah, he's the tough guy. He's like, if a Mal comes near me, I will snap on him. And I think it's that Jack Russell Chihuahua, like unsure. He's badass though. This dog was the fastest dog still to this date I've ever seen a dog run. And he's 12 years old. He still looks freaking super good. Been taking good care of him. He's a rider for many years. Ain't you, Jack? Ain't you? You ain't scared of nothing, are you? Nope. He's the kamikaze, the one that you would like put the Tannerite dog. He's the perfect Tannerite dog. He would head into battle. Doesn't matter who's there. He will go attack them, and be very useful if he was having to be a Tannerite dog. One last hurrah to keep everybody alive, right, Jackie? We got the same mindset, so he's a good boy. I do want one. They are good-looking pups. Hopefully, I get things worked out. Yeah, brother. Just let me know. Just let me know. I hope you do too, bro. I hate hearing that. You dropped for maybe 30 seconds. All good now. All right, cool. Yeah, I was like, couldn't get back to the StreamYard, and because I'm hitting pause and whatnot, and so like it was like slow to bring me back and forth. But I'll figure that out. It could be the internet. Maybe I don't have it up as high speed enough on the plan that I have, even though they charge me like $100 a month for only internet. I don't have cable or anything like that. And they're like, it'd be cheaper if you get cable with it. And I'm like, but I don't want your cable. I don't want cable on my house. Maybe I should just take it and not watch it. But I know someone will watch it, and I have eyes I'm raising. But yeah, guys, I mean, everybody do the best you can every day. That's all I ever have to say. Everybody's had their own setbacks, struggles, health issues, financial issues. I've had my fair share of different things to overcome and deal with. And so, You know, I gained a lot of weight over the years of having kids. Praise God, I dropped 30 pounds and I'm on a new diet plan, fitness plan of just busting my butt to train and be the best person I can be. And fortunately enough, the timing worked out where I could focus on it a little bit. I turned my cable off to cut expenses. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had cable in 10 years at least. I mean, I have bunny ears. I have like the digital bunny ears, the newer style bunny ears, but I have bunny ears and I have YouTube Premium and I have Netflix for the kids. And there's only a few shows on there that I like watching with them, but every now and then I like to watch a movie with the kids instead of something on YouTube. Yeah, guys, it's we never know what could happen day to day. We could wake up to a different reality every day. We're living in a world like that, and we all have to be as adaptable. Shout out to Adaptive Defense for providing us with a bunch of cool information and good training video. But we all have to be highly adaptable and ready to adjust on the fly. I think the nomad is similar to that, right? No, never comfortable, always ready to move on to where they can be useful, where they can be in a better position to provide for themselves or the tribe. And you know, I think we all have to take that mindset every day. Even if you are in the same place, you wake up in the same bed every day for 20 years. It's a mindset of just being adaptable, because even if you're in the same place every day for 20 years, your body's changing, reality's changing, friendships change, you know, relationships come and go. So like, you know, we just have to always be faithful. Put all your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, because I don't know what other cornerstone that is as durable and consistent as that. And yeah, guys, just try to fill your negative time with hyper positive time. You know, if you find yourself daily being like, I do this all the time and I wish I didn't do it, is like find something positive and switch it. I'll tell you one thing. So when I went to quit smoking, what I would do during like that time of night that I would smoke is instead I would literally just get my guns and I would put my guns on the table and I would clean my guns for like 2 hours. And then I'm like, wow, it's so late. I need to go to bed. And I never thought about the fact that normally I wanted to just smoke and watch a movie and be in a weird mindset. And I'm so glad that I was able to break that habit. And I prayed a lot to break that habit. And yeah, I wasn't smoking cigarettes, but yeah, I mean, always try to take whatever you do that's negative and put something positive in its place. And the more you do that, the more positive things you'll have around you over time and less negative things you'll have around you over time. What's up, DLD? Glad you made it. I can't see what you, all I can see is that basically. I'm getting older and feeling older, welder dude. Yeah, man, I was feeling like that too for a hot minute till I lost this weight. And now that I lost this weight, I feel so much better. I feel like ready at all times. Like, I got free time, I'm hitting the gym. Like, and there were times when I was heavier where I was like, oh, I don't really feel like hitting the gym right now. But now I'm kind of like, let's go. And I would tell everybody to like get all your blood work done, and not just by like a regular doctor. Go to like a men's health clinic. Get your thyroid checked, get your testosterone checked. Because the healthcare, they'll be like, oh, your blood work looks like this. Let's put you on this prescription for the rest of your life. And there's, you know, alternatives out there. So I would start first away from doctors. This is not medical advice. This is my own personal philosophy. But yeah, try to get off prescription drugs. What helped me lose 30 pounds was I took peptides. And yeah, I never felt better than taking the peptides. So peptides, look into them. they're pretty cool. If anybody has any questions about them, maybe one day I'll do like a live stream about them because my buddy's company's up. I have a website you could order them from through my good friend who owns a peptide company. And hit me up on Instagram. I'll send you his website and his price sheet and all that stuff. And they work. And go do some research on them because they really do work. Like welder dude, take the Wolverine stack and you feel much better. That like old, yeah. If you had a bicep surgery, look into TB500 and BPC 157. Promise you, you'll be really happy I told you about it. They worked for me. Yeah. Then you know about the peptides. Yeah, it helps with recovery. So yeah, I mean, guys, like we are being toxinized and affected by light and fluorescent light and flickers that we can't see. I did GHK. Yeah. They make one called Glow, which is GHK with the Wolverine stack in it. It's like the ultimate healing recovery one. But if you did GHK, dude, I'm telling you, do the Wolverine stack, which is BPC 157 and TB 500. And they make one that has GHK in it as well, which is GHK is copper. It's basically add additional copper into your body. And yep, you did that one exactly. Nice, and it worked for you. It felt good. It helped with the surgery. Oh, that's what you said first. I took them after my bicep surgery. Nice. Okay, I must have read that. I think I just read that I had a bicep surgery. I read that fast. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, yes, you got to spend the money on it, but it like it's better than health, bro. We got to take care of ourselves. The healthcare and like the big pharma and all that stuff, man. They're not interested in having you feel your best. That they're interested in the bottom line of the income stream that they're going to have the meetings about once a week or at the end of the month. Sped up my healing by 4 months. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. That right there, the Wolverine stack, that thing is no joke. And you can take it without just healing for your surgery, like if you are just getting to be like, I need to go back to the gym, and you go to the gym and you work out and the next day you feel so sore that you can't move, you should probably be taking BPC 157 and TB 500 because you'll feel so much better and you can go back to the gym again. Your recovery is so much better. On top of that, you want your recovery to be good. It's not like a fake recovery. It's helping your body actually recover. So, your muscles aren't broken down anymore. They have recovered, where you may have elevated stuff in your blood that is not allowing your body to recover, and therefore, if it takes too long to recover, it feels like an injury, right? And then it doesn't. You don't want to go, and so yeah, I mean, at any age, 45 still young, bro. Welder dude, 45 is young. You're 45 and young, so. Also helps with acid reflux. Yeah, the retatrutide that I took for weight loss and processing sugars and stuff in the body, that one will give you a little bit of acid reflux because you're cooking everything inside. You are taking everything that's in those bowels and guts that's just been sitting in there and it's churning it into pure energy. So you can utilize it as energy. And fortunately, I have a friend who owns a peptide company, so I didn't have to spend a lot on it, and that was a blessing. And even though, this period of life with the job stuff has been absolutely rough, getting in shape during that time has been the light in the darkness for that. And I don't know if I would have dropped the weight like that. It also kept you accountable. You're like, oh, I'm taking this and I need to maximize it, not just like be like, it'll do all the work and I can treat my body like crap. No, it's like, nope. Now I'm going to eat better. I'm going to be diligent. I'm going to be like, I want whatever it is that I'm going to apply to this to work as fast and as helpful as possible. It fights depression getting fit. Yeah, it does, because you don't feel like crap. Like you feel like man, I had a great workout, right? And then like if you have too much like acidity in your body or like lactic acid, right? You wake up, you feel like garbage. You don't want to go back. You know you need to go back because it'll help move that lactic acid out. But when you're taking a Wolverine stack, you'll wake up maybe a tiny bit. You could feel that. You feel more like, oh, I'm recovered and I feel like I can do this again. All right, let's go do it again. And I don't know. That seems like something that people shouldn't just pass over if they can afford to take it and it's part of their, their plan. Take that stuff. I get it for you at a discount. I should have like a 20% off code or 15% off code soon for his peptide company. But I told him, I was like, bro, you hooked me up. I would promote it because it worked. And I've never felt better. And now I just feel even better. And they say that only like 20% of the people who lose the weight from taking it gain the weight back, and it's because they don't have any plan for what they're eating or working out. So 80% of the people who continue to work out, continue to eat healthy, they don't gain that weight back. It's gone. And I've talked to other people who've taken it. Dude, I've seen people lose 80 pounds, 60 pounds. It also it's not just losing weight. It's literally making you healthier. It's helping certain things in your body. It actually, the retatrutide that I took also fights fatty liver disease. So the first thing that it initially does is take the fat that's around your organs and tells the body to take this fat off these organs and use that fat as energy, which is like, I'm not going to say it's a miracle, but it's amazing. It's amazing stuff. Your surgeon is taking it after he saw my results. Nice. I don't know. Maybe people aren't as interested in this, but like, dude, we got to be at our best and we need every advantage possible. And these people are dropping ticks on us. I hope Delta Mike's doing good. I hope he doesn't have any issues from having ticks all over him. But they do not want us to be healthy and strong. That is their fear. Healthy, strong, smart, capable, afraid. That's why they spend how much money and time trying to make us all sick, deluded, delusional, distracted, and it's life-changing. I agree, Welder, dude. It's freaking life-changing, bro. Awesome. Thank you, brother. Just responded to you, man. Yeah. Yep. Dark, man. Get it done, bro. I had a right distal bicep tendon rupture on 126. Surgery was on 204 of this year. I've already been back to it for the last 2 months. Yeah, bro, that's awesome. That's the kind of results we need, And like, dude, the amount of that people think of these peptides, it's like, dude, you're taking like an insulin shot, and it's really nothing. Delta Mike should take DMSO daily during tick season. Okay, is that a peptide? DMSO. Let's look it up. DMSO. Dimethyl sulfoxide, versatile organic sulfur-containing liquid, originally derived as a byproduct, paper manufacturing. Ooh, I don't know about that, though. See, I don't want any sulfites. Penetrate the human skin, dissolve both water-soluble and oil-soluble compounds. I'm allergic to sulfites. I wonder if niacin kind of helps at this as well, because niacin kind of flushes the top of the skin and stuff. It makes you very unappealing to ticks and bug bites. Ooh. Huh. I will look that up. Helps joints. All right. I'm gonna do a little bit more research on it. Glad you are recovered, Welder, dude. I know guys that were out of the game for a year from a bicep injury. Yeah, bro. Dark, I'm telling you about that elbow, bro. You need that Wolverine stack for that elbow you had going on. Take that little Wolverine stack, and you're going to be like, what elbow? Ah, it's a thing of the past. Yeah, bro, healing and moving on in life and trying to be the best man that you can be and be strong and capable and feel good and feel healthy and feel ready to do things is such a blessing, man. And our bodies are under attack from water, lighting, food quality, and it's so progressive. It's like the more you just embrace that stuff, the more you want to do it. So you got to break that chain and that cycle. Um, it helps with tennis elbow, meniscus tears help mine. Yeah, I was taking it around. I had a meniscus tear in 8th grade. Yeah, I had surgery in 8th grade, and I was putting it right around the site and top of my thigh. And yeah, my knee never felt better. Never. My knees never felt better. I got my elbows in much better shape, but it took me a while. It was brutal for real. Joints are a mofo. Yeah. And whatever you can do to speed that up, you should take every advantage, man. I'm telling you. We can't leave nothing on the table right now. We all gotta be as badass as possible. We don't know what's coming. And it's probably not good. And if it is, good. Then still be as badass as possible. So other than that, you guys, I will see you guys on my live stream Wednesday night. I don't know what I got planned coming up. I think we'll probably have some more special guests coming up soon. Yeah, get out, train, take care of your bodies. We owe it to the people we care about to stay fit. Facts, welder dude. Facts, bro. One of the main reasons for me, like being like, I don't give a damn, I'm getting fit again, is my kids. I don't like, my kids would be like, oh, daddy, your belly's sticking out a little bit. And I was like, oh no, I can't live like this no more. That's it. Time's up. I'm grinding. I want my kids to look at me like my dad will absolutely kill anybody if they mess with me. Because as a child, you could say that to them and they may be like, he's crazy. But like, there's something about having the look that they know. And you don't have to say anything. We can't help anyone from a place of weakness. Yeah, we can't, man. We can't. And what's the first rule of survival is like, you can't save anyone until you secure your own safety. So, you know, we all deserve, and for each other's sake, right? If we all have to rely on each other to save our country, we all got to be as capable as possible, and we don't want to let each other down. It's okay to be slightly competitive as long as you're not a scumbag and rude person about it, because there are people who are like that, who are like seriously like intentionally degrading people instead of like lifting them up. Like we all need to lift each other up, man. And I'll be honest with you, dude, I would suggest everybody look into freaking peptides. You don't have to take like steroids or anything like that. Like peptides, and they're considered enhancers. So like you can't just lay on the couch and eat McDonald's and think the peptides are going to do it for you. Like no, you have to put in the work, but the peptides make the work instead of it feeling like a constant struggle. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is working, and you notice the results quickly, so that you're not like, because it's hard, bro. If you work your butt off in the gym and you're just in so much pain and you can't move, and you know, you have an injury and like, I just can't get past this thing, but you can take stuff that makes it feel better so you can continue to improve. Like, bro, take that advantage. Be well, people. They do work. It's stuff that your body actually needs. Yeah, it is. It's completing amino acid chains within the body that are degrading or lacking that chain. That's literally all it is. It's like your body is missing this one component to that thing that your body has. Here, add it, and it'll complete the protein chains so that your body will continue to do what it's meant to do. But yeah, I mean, I wish like we all didn't need it. I don't know how our protein chains are broken down like that, but I mean, it's part of aging. It's part of our diets that cut things off. I mean, I'm sure there's some like underground scientists that have figured this stuff out, trying to like hurt us, or maybe not. Maybe it's just a part of the entropy in which this world is built on, which is all things degrade. Processed foods, yeah. I've stopped all, bro. I've been so diligent on my diet, it's insane. There's days like the other day I went to work doing side work on houses and stuff, and I was hanging gutters like 40 feet high on the second floor on a ladder. Absolutely brutal. That was brutal. And Florida's so hot. But like I didn't eat anything and worked until like 3 o'clock. Woke up early, went off to work, did this whole project, ate no food, stayed super hydrated. Also, simple thing for everybody. Get a bottle that's not plastic. Do not drink out of plastic. Okay? Drink out of aluminum. And yeah, this still has a plastic lid, so I'm not even thrilled about that part. But like, don't drink out of plastic water bottles. And I don't care if it's BPA free. Like, do not drink out of plastic water bottles every day and stay super hydrated, guys. I live in a place where, like, if you're not hydrated, you could get dehydration quickly because it's so hot and it's so humid. But for everybody, man, stay hydrated. Drink electrolytes. Drink protein, right? You should be taking in 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So, or at least your ideal body weight. And really, it could be more. If you're trying to build, it should be more like 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. But yeah, bro, bro, I'm telling you, we are under constant attack. If you don't feel good, it is not because there's something wrong with you. It is because we are under constant attack. And as brothers, as men of America, as other men that want to see each other do well, we all have to tell each other these things to like, we can't stop fighting the fight. And the fight is not just our guns and shooting at the gun range and all that stuff. It's our health. It's our friend groups. It's our relationship. It's what we spend our money on. Every action, I used to think it was just what you spend your money on is how you vote. No. How every action throughout the day is your vote. How you live, conduct yourself, your belief system, your attitude, how you feel. And yeah, guys, filter water. If you could filter the whole house, get a whole house water filtration system. At least get some type of gravity-fed filtration system like a Berkey. That's what I use. There is so much heavy metals in our water. I even feel bad if I fill the dog's water bowl up from the tap, like, because I know how bad it is. And like, yeah, a lot of us grew up in the era where we drank from hoses outside, right? But like, when you know better, you do better. That's like the saying. When you know better, do better. Because when you're young, you can do anything. You can eat crap. You can eat freaking 10 popsicles in a day. And you don't feel like, go ahead and do that at 40. It's totally different, you know? So I appreciate everybody sticking through the stream. Sorry the connection was a little bit bad, but everybody watching the replay, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming by my channel. If you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe. If you found any value and enjoyed the stream, please hit the like button, leave a comment. And Welder Dude, feel free to drop that story about the peptides and your recovery in the comment after this video. And other than that, guys, Jesus Christ is King and Lord of heaven and earth and everything that you can see and cannot see. And one day you will have to see him face to face. So keep that in mind. Other than that, you guys, be the light of the world. We'll see you later.
The remnant of nomads feel lost in a world they don't recognize, controlled by evil forces who seek to enslave them. They have trained and prepared for this very moment.